So dear friends, you can hear peace around us. We are surrounded with nature, with the birds, with the sound of freedom. Just hear the peace coming into you. But only if you don't have a peace. If you're peaceful, don't worry about the videos. Enjoy your peace wherever you are. As this is what we're doing now. Absolute tranquility. Even my voice is interrupting this peacefulness. All kind of different colors of the birds and types of the birds. I think we hear a hummingbird, some very bright green ones that we saw earlier. As you know, all our videos are about the freedom. So consider this question: who created nature? Who created birds? Who created the sea? Who created this big rock? Who was so magnificent creator of all this beauty, freedom and peace, all at one place? You, me, or some absolute energy, some absolute source who just created this for our own benefit, that we still don't get it. We don't get the benefit of all what this nature is bringing to us. What every single rock, doesn't matter the size, bringing to us. I'm not thinking a rock like a rock, on your finger, assuming like a diamond or a ruby. I'm talking rock, this one. You think this rock is free? Maybe it's occupied with some, call it surface, non-humane energies, but only for some time. Brief moment in the past. Because rock is free as it is. You can crush it, you can melt it, you can do whatever, and it's still free. Because you cannot take its essence. How you can create the essence of the rock if you don't let it be free? And same applies for human. Same applies for the soul. Same applies for the bird. So, for you to get the idea of what being free means, to me, equals having a soul. To have the soul, you have to recognize that you are free. So it's kind of catch-22 until you get it out of this tridimensional, linear, one-dimension thinking. You have to spread yourself in really 360 degrees in all directions. People say time is a fourth dimension. Is it? Time is honestly just an illusion. It was imposed on humanity as such that we have to get older, that we have to get, let's call it expired after 100 years. But what if I tell you that we don't have to? How come nature is living forever until some stupid human comes in and then burn all the trees? But even if the tree has been burned, Does the seed of the tree contains all the information from the past, linear past? It's still the same old tree, but it looks like a seed, and 100 years later it looks like a big tree. So same happening with your soul, with your spirit, and with your, let's call it, life energy. In many instances, people thought that we actually losing our life energy by being here. I would like to challenge this. I would like to ask you to start thinking that this was the most beautiful place to be, where you actually gain bigger portion of you. Every time you come in, every time you incarnate, every time you die, every time you're reborn, you're becoming bigger. Not bigger in size, but bigger in soul, bigger in energy container that your body become. So be courageous enough to accept that you are part of this nature, which is absolutely beautiful. So you could be beautiful as well. But only when you become less greedy, less jealous, less competitive. Do you see any competitiveness here in the nature? Does any rock compete with another rock, or any tree competes with another, bush? Look, rock and behind, rock and the tree in symbiosis or whatever, in togetherness, as you can see.
Harmony.
So why we as humans, we call it stupid humans, cannot live together as the trees next to each other? You think this is a one tree in the back, maybe one seed, but all the branches kind of grow in a different time. One 2 years ago, one couple of months ago. One is like on the back, it's about 6-7 years old. So they're all like kind of siblings of the same seed, same as you are, same as we are. We are all from the same source, from the same seed, from same spark. Some are younger, some are crooked, some are beautiful, some are less beautiful, to their own perspective. But to the creation, absolutely every single piece is absolutely beautiful. This includes reptilians, this includes Dracos, this includes all the alien beings that we treat them as presently as our enemies, as our one who's not with us on the same level, because they are, let's say, technologically advanced, but they are spiritually less than you are, or that's at least you think they are. So you would trade your spirituality with their technology. Doesn't work. So all this, let's say, blabbing of mine today was related with the nature. That you recognize yourself as a part of it. I am part of the nature, which means that I am, period. So what are you? Denise?
That's a very good question, but I'll answer it as I feel it. The I am is what we know and what we are, but we are also the I am not, the not visible, because that is the consciousness that we cannot see, but that's also part of us. So for me, God creation is not just our magnificent human beings, which we are, and people just need to recognize how fantastic and magnificent they are, because we've got a soul, versus the other kingdoms, similar to the plant, the mineral, and the animal kingdoms. They don't have a soul, and many other species from outside of Earth that really want to harvest the human soul as an energy source as well, for them to use in their areas and that, and I just find that once you connect with this beautiful God creation, which we've been given absolutely everything, all the knowledge and everything we need to know to pursue life. It's just that we've got to trust and have faith in ourselves and our ability and the inner voice that will guide us in every direction, in every area of our life. And it's difficult for people to unlearn what they learned, and that is really what we're urging people to do, is to unlearn what you learned, because you've been conditioned and programmed in many areas to think a certain way. And we discussed the other day about norm, all, everybody, all will follow the norm. So normal is not what it's
You
meant
wanna
to
be
be.
that.
You can be the individual, you can be different, and you can experience everything, every moment, and it will not be frowned upon, because the big creator, the prime creator, has given you this ability to experience this life. There is no right and there is no wrong. You've got your choices. It will not be frowned upon. God is not to be feared. And look, there's a bird in the background
Yeah.
coming to say hello to us. It's just that we've got to experience every moment and feel free to live out your choices, because it's all about fear or love. You know, your choices is actually just boils down to that, fear and love. If it's got a positive feel about it, then it's based from a love center, which is from your heart. If it's got some kind of fear connection, then you know it's not from this world. It is really what was imposed upon us and conditioned through our minds, that we need to fear every outcome and life competitiveness, which is totally not what life is all about. We are to live together and just enjoy what's been given to us, and nature is really where we can connect with everything in our life. So when you feel a bit rushed and hushed, just go out in nature, walk bare feet and feel Mother Earth. She's there. She will charge you with her beautiful energy, and for you to take a breath and just enjoy everything that's been given to us. So yes, enjoy the freedom like we are today in this beautiful nature with all the birds around us. So that's in a nutshell. We are magnificent beings. Just enjoy this magnificence. So don't fear. Just take that first step and know who you are, because you are a co-creator of your world. So it's based on all your choices. Thanks.
Thank you. So please join us. I'm not saying join us in South Africa. We have a very little apartment, but join us in your own freedom.